Well, I'm not gonna sit there and be around a person that wants to hurt me.
No,
And
no,
then,
you no,
and then,
you.
and then, and then they stop after I say that. They want to stop.
Oh, so you told me you're not trying to be around somebody that you don't know,
Mm.
you know, and that's right. See, I'm glad you said something. See, listen, baby. See, this is what Daddy was telling you. You got to speak up. You got to talk. Because see, if you don't, these people sit there and then they think they can run over you. They'll try it.
Mm-hmm. Really? This thing. I don't know why, but my dad. I'm not sure.
But yeah, you did the right thing. But
Hey, I'm gonna come and talk to you guys.
hi,
You guys. I'm Debbie. I'm with Children, Youth, and Families. How are you guys this evening?
better. I've been better.
I'm sure you have it. I'm sorry for what's going on here. Okay. All right, Rodney. So basically, I haven't been able to find any information on the people that you told me about. So I had to call her. We are looking at a solution that does not involve foster care or taking him into state custody or anything like that, so that you can keep custody of him. The second you get out of here, you can go pick him up. Okay.
Okay.
So, like I said, my name's Debbie, okay? And what I've done is I've reached out to the local shelter, New Day Shelter. All you have to do is call and give verbal approval for your son to go. We have to get you a COVID test. And then you can have him pick him up the minute you step out of the hospital. We, CYFD, we don't take any custody. We don't do anything. I check in on him. I make sure he's doing okay. But it provides you that sense of you are placing your son in the shelter until you can bring him out of the shelter. Has nothing to do with the police or myself.
And this shelter is for children, so it's not gonna be like a bunch of adults there or anything like
Yeah,
that.
it's all under 20. It's kiddos under 20. The other option, sir, is CYFD takes custody, and then we have, if you're in for more than 48 hours, then I have to file for a petition. We have to take custody of your kiddo, and I don't want to do that. That's not what we're trying to do here, but I'm trying to tell you what your alternatives and your options are at this time.
Okay, but that's not. You're not being completely clear. So right now he can go stay at this shelter.
Correct.
Okay. And he stays at this shelter. Now, what about the time frame? Is there a certain amount of time? Because I don't know how long I'm going to have to be here.
What is the thought process for you? I said 5 to 7 days, but we can extend it as needed.
Okay. So, all right. So 5 to 7 days. Well, here's the thing. I don't know how long they're talking about me being here.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing dialysis. I know I was told for 3 days. They have to get approval with the insurance. They said that could take about a week, but I don't expect them to keep me here for a week.
Mm-hmm.
They did not explain any of that to me. They just kind of left it at, I needed dialysis.
So when I talked to them they didn't tell me anything about your medical condition. I just asked how long they could expect you to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And they said it was probably gonna be 2 to 3 days. And then they'd have to reevaluate at that time.
Well, I mean, at this point in time, I'm really, I'm not comfortable with any option.
What we do know is he's not allowed to stay here any longer. The hospital's done their best to keep him here, allow him to stay the 24 hours he's been with you, and that's no longer an option.
Oh, why didn't they say something about that beforehand? They didn't see. That's why I said this was entrapment, because first of all, When I came in here with chest pain and shortness of breath. I told them, that when I left Georgia, when we moved from Georgia to New Mexico, I came out here and I told them my history. I was seen at the emergency room once before. Never had an issue. Even when I was in Georgia and I was diagnosed. He stayed at the hospital there. They never had a problem. So I get here. They were aware of all my health issues. They sat there for a year. I couldn't even get in there to see my primary care doctor, who is right across the street from my apartment building. Literally, my apartment building is right across the street from my primary care doctor, and they were refusing to see me. Every time I go in there, I saw her one time. After I saw her, and they said they were going to do, they wanted to do blood work, and they said they were going to schedule an appointment. I go in. Oh, now all of a sudden, there's no appointment. I go back to make an appointment. They said, well, we can't see you right now because we don't do walk-ins. Every time I go in there was an excuse. So I didn't get the health care that I needed. There was another time where I wound up having to go to the emergency center. I went to UNM. Similar situation. I get in there at UNM. They didn't, it's just a bunch of nonsense. So I wound up.
Unfortunately, I mean, it sounds like you've
Well,
been
wait a
going through
second.
this for a while.
Wait a second. I'm not done. I'm not finished. So at that point, I leave the hospital. Crayley had a situation on the bus. And they sat there and they just kicked us out of the hospital. So, and that was at UNM. So then I have this issue Tuesday night, and I come here by ambulance. Nobody said anything about my son not being welcome at this hospital. I wouldn't have never started dialysis had I known my son was not welcome at this hospital. Do you not understand that that's entrapment? You did not inform me.
So, sir, neither one of us work for the hospital, okay? I don't know the process that happened when you came in. I don't know who you talked to. I don't know anything about this hospital.
And where's that doctor that came in here questioning my son but don't want me to see him, and I ain't met them? I want to know who this director is, this doctor.
So, Rodney?
Yes.
All I know is that the hospital is saying he can't stay here. It's against their policy to have children on the floor. They were trying to work something out, and it's been more than 24 hours, and unfortunately, they cannot let him stay here any longer. Okay? We're trying to find a solution so that you can still maintain custody of Marcel. That way, we don't get involved. You don't have to go through the courts or anything like that to get him back.
Well, that's what I'm trying.
The only solution we have that meets that requirement, where you still get to maintain custody of Marcel, is to have him stay within this juvenile shelter.
Okay.
But I don't want to have this stupid COVID test because obviously I'm not gonna have COVID. And I'm not gonna have this damn COVID test because I don't want to have this freaking thing up my damn nose.
That's the only way they'll take you is if you have a negative COVID test, kiddo. That's just the state rules. There's nothing I can do about that. Every kiddo has to have a COVID test to get in.
And I don't understand why this is.
Well, then it's my right to leave the hospital. Then I'm leaving the hospital.
Okay.
And I'm taking my son with me.
Can I just?
It's my right.
Can I be a mom for a minute, sir?
Yeah, you can be a mom, but you're not his mom.
I understand that, but if you leave the hospital and something absolutely tragic happens to you without the support you need for your health care, he's going to go into custody with us. And I'd rather you get your health care and take care of yourself.
Not if I get him to family first. So
were you able to get a hold of your mom or anyone in North Carolina?
No, I was not. I told you I don't have their number. I have the stuff that I have with the family information is back at the apartment. And so no, we're not staying.
Let me get a doctor real quick or see if I can find someone that will talk to you about that, okay?
No, there's nothing for them to talk to me about.
Well, they have to fill out paperwork one way or the
No,
other.
they don't. They don't have to fill out anything. I know my rights. They don't have to fill out anything.
We're not the bad guys here. We really are trying to work with you.
I hear what you're saying, but you know, it's like if I can't get something in writing stating that my son is going to be given back to me when I'm done in treatment here, then no. And even if I do have something in writing, how do I know that they're not going to try to pull some other stunt to keep me in here for longer than a week?
Yeah. I don't know about your health concerns, sir, so I can't give you any sort of idea how long you'll stay here. But what I do know is that you as the parent sign your son in. You as the parent sign your son out. We do not get involved in it. You will call the shelter with me. You will sign your kiddo in. That way, there is no CYFD information involved.
I just don't understand why this is literally the only option.
Hi.
Hello. You want to leave?
I'm seriously considering it.
Okay. Which is totally your right. But just to let you know, everything that we've got to this part, like trying to get you a dialysis chair and all that, that stops.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're not here, so the case management's not working on it anymore. It's not attack. It's not anything personal. It's not anything like that.
That's coercion. That's coercion.
No. That's
Yes,
just
it
giving you
is.
the facts. Because
No.
I'm not.
If I'm a patient and you all have started this, I'm a patient.
Right.
And
Once
so
you leave, but you're leaving against medical advice. You're leaving on your own will.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not medically clear to leave.
Okay, but that doesn't change the fact that once this process is started, I'm covered. The insurance covered. I haven't lost insurance, so
But what stops is case management working on your file, trying to get these things set up. Once you leave, that's what stops. It's not coercing you to stay. I'm just letting you know the facts. Because I already asked them what happens if you go AMA. And that's kind of what happens is everything gets closes. It's like you're discharged, but you're not because you went on your own free will without being medically cleared to leave.
and then they medically clear me to leave. I'm still stuck in the same situation. I'm still going to need dialysis according to them. So they've already started dialysis. They can't just stop the process.
But you don't have anywhere set up for it. That's the process.
And they don't get to stop that. They don't get to stop that just because I'm saying that
I'm not going to go back and forth with you because this will not be productive at all. I'm just
no,
letting you know
you're right. It won't be productive.
So I don't want to argue with you because I just don't think it'll go there. I'm just letting you know what I was told.
Well, like I said, that's coercion.
That's not coercing. You can leave whenever you want. Nobody can make you stay here. I'm not coercing you to stay. I'm just giving you the facts of what happens if you leave because you're leaving against medical advice. You're not medically cleared to leave.
Okay.
Do you guys want a few minutes to talk about what might work for the two of you?
No, because there's no point if we're all leaving. If we're leaving, then we're leaving. There's nothing to talk about.
That's what we want to give you two some time to talk about, okay?
We want you guys to talk about that because I would prefer for your dad to stay here and get his treatment and be as healthy as he can. Because if something happens to him, what's going to happen to you, kiddo? That's what I'm saying. Dad can still stay here, get his treatment, still reach out to family, see if family can come get you. Dad can have you released from the shelter if family comes, and you guys can stay at the apartment together. What we're trying to do is keep you safe, keep CYFD out of custody for both of you, and let your dad be in control of where you go right now. But if something were to happen to him, and you call 911, we're automatically going to have to take you into custody because you have nowhere to go. So that's what I'm trying to prevent. But that's a decision you and your dad have to make. Because I don't know how dire his health is. I don't know what's going on with his health.
That wouldn't make sense because
So we'll step out and give you two a couple minutes to talk, okay?
Well, I need to get the doctor in here and find out what's going on with my health. I need to know right now what the plan of action is with my health. I need to know right now before we talk about anything else.
The plan is to keep keeping you dialyzed. That's why we did it last night and again today.
Yes, but what's the time frame? What are we talking about? How many days?
Well, right now they're trying to get you set up so it's outpatient. That's what's going to keep you here, is for them to set you up somewhere in an outpatient clinic where you can get dialysis.
And how long is that going to take?
They're working as honestly as fast as they can. One, it's your insurance, and they say that could take a week. But the case management this morning got on it really fast because everybody knows what the situation is.
So you guys are saying that you're trying to keep me at the hospital a week?
No. We're not trying to keep you here any longer than you need to be.
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. It's like,
But that's the time frame, is for you to find somewhere for you to go to dialysis, get approval for your insurance, and then get you set up.
that's not what I'm asking. I need to know for them. How long do you all expect me to be in this hospital
But that's what
before I can go?
But that's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's the process. It could take a week to get you set up for outpatient dialysis. Could it be sooner?
So
Most definitely.
so I could be here a week.
You could be here a week. And depending on how long it takes the insurance to get approved and get you set up in outpatient dialysis. So could it be done and you be out here tomorrow? You could. But could it also take a week? It could also take a week. There's not like, I could say some people are going to be here overnight and they're going to leave.
And so, just so you know, because I know he just gave you some information, the option that we presented to you, where he goes to stay at the juvenile shelter, if you get out tomorrow, you go pick him up tomorrow. If you get out in a week, you go pick him up in a week. It's, you still have custody of him, but whenever you get out of the hospital, you go pick him up. You don't have to wait. Okay?
I want it in writing. I want it in writing. If we get it in writing, he can go to the shelter.
Okay. Okay, let me step out. I'll talk to my supervisor, because obviously I don't have computer. Will you take a handwritten note from me?
No.
Okay, so what is it exactly that you want? Do you want it from the shelter? Do you want it from CYFD? What is it that you're looking for?
I just want something from the hospital, from you, and from this officer, stating that when I am done with treatment here, that I am being reunited with my son without any issues from law enforcement or CYFD or whatever you call it, the Division of Family Services, whatever, without any interference. And I know with no issues of custody or anything with my son. I want it in writing.
Do you have a computer here that we could put something in writing and print it out?
Yeah, I get you logged into a computer.
Would that suffice?
Yes.
Okay, so can you give us a few minutes to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, perfect. Thank you. You know you have to take the COVID test.
Look, it's not that bad. You saw them give it to me, okay? It's not. I know you don't like the idea of somebody sticking something up your nose, but there have been millions of people to do it.
It's way better than when it started.
Mm-hmm.
It's way better than when we started this last year. You don't have to go as deep. It's not as it was.
Yeah, it's not as bad. Okay, you can at least do that. Trust me. Do you think I really want to let you walk out of here without Dad? I don't want you doing that. I hate this just as much as you do. Okay? So can you please take the COVID test for Dad?
Or if anything happens,
come here.
I swear, this needs to end.
Come here. Nothing's gonna happen. Okay?
Look, all we're trying to do is get him healthy so he can leave. Nobody wants him to be here any longer than he has to be.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down. Calm down. Hey.
We'll give you guys a few minutes. We'll get our notes and everything taken care of.
Calm down, okay? Okay. It's okay. You want them to do the COVID test right here with me? You want me to be right here with you when they do the test?
I just don't want to be anywhere near them because I know what it's gonna be like there.
What do you mean?
Did you not hear what they said? Kids at the maximum age of 20. That's older, way older than me, and that's adult age. So technically, that is custody. Somebody else taking custody. They think I'm dumb. I'm not dumb. I know what they are.
So do you want to just leave here?
Yeah, I would prefer to leave this whole state and leave this whole freaking state and go somewhere else where we can get real treatment from real doctors. Because this needs to end with these stupid lying ass. I hope they fucking kill themselves in the goddamn bed. I hope they fucking die.
Calm down. Calm down.
Because this wouldn't be a damn problem if they didn't just fucking tell us in the first place.
Yeah, I know.
Because they had no fucking reason to not tell us.
Alright, stop cursing. Calm down.
How can I stop when I'm this freaking angry? I would have been fine with it if it was under, like, adult age. But that's over adult age. 18 is adult age. And they said 20. And technically, that's somebody taking custody.
Yeah, at this children's shelter, is he gonna be around kids that are his age appropriate, his age, or what is the age range of the kids that he'll be around?
The age range is from 12 to 19. I don't know what the dynamics are right now. I couldn't tell you how many males to females. You know, I don't know what the age range is.
And is this like, what is this setting like? Is this like dormitory setting?
It's dormitory settings. Yep, they're staffed there 24/7. They sleep males to females. Unless you are of transgender, then you have a different area that you would be sleeping in. They do try to accommodate if there is, you know, a youth who is in transition. They try to accommodate all the children in there. They do activities during the day. There's, you know, outdoor activities. Prior to COVID, they were doing like movies and events, but I can't say right now that that's something that they're currently doing. They might just be hanging out outside together.
I'm right here, man. Alright,
Would you guys rather talk in your room in privacy?
in a moment, he just didn't feel comfortable sitting in there by himself.
Okay. This is my boss, so I can't figure out what we're doing here.
Alright. So, is she getting that in writing or what?
Yeah, she's working with her boss right now to see the specifics that we're allowed to put in writing, at least on her end. Okay.
Right now, this is making me very pissed off, and I'm really pissed off.
I'm sorry you're feeling that way, Marcel, and I just want to say I really appreciate how you've been with us up until now. You're actually one of the cooler 13-year-olds I've ever gotten to meet.
That's a perfect solution.
So I really appreciate that you've been working with us and that you really care for your dad's health and his safety.
And we're just happy to have this safety plan. It's just a safety plan for your dad and your dad. Perfect. Thank you. I'm going to my bed and I'm going to write that up.
In some
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. For a few minutes. Thanks. All right, bye-bye.
Well, they're claiming that you won't be in foster care.
Yeah, this isn't a foster care system because the foster care is like a state thing, and we're trying to keep you out of that so that you can go with your dad when he's out. So it's more of like dorms.
So what I'm going to do, so you guys both know, is this is our safety plan. So I'm going to write it up as a safety plan, but the safety plan is for Dad to pick up from New Day, and it'll all be documented. You will read it. My boss will approve it. It'll take me a few minutes just to write it all out, but this is then your agreement. I'll get you a copy of all this, so the minute you step out the door, you can go straight over to New Day and pick up our kiddo.
And I am writing an incident report. Like I said, no allegations of anything going on with you guys that Marcel's in trouble or anything like that. I'm just writing up basically an information report to say that I came out here and that we kind of facilitated this to happen, but that there's no concerns that you keep him, okay? And I'll get you the case number for that.
And there's no time frame on the amount of time that I have to come pick him up?
No, it could be tomorrow, like the nurse said. It could be 3 days, it could be 5 days. Whenever you are ready to pick him up, you can pick him up.
So what if it's 10 days?
Then it'll be 10 days. I think we have 2 weeks there, but then we could always re-up his stay if we need to. Without CYFD or anybody being involved. Because you yourself are placing your son at the shelter because of your health concerns.
And I promise you, we're trying to get you out here as soon as possible. I don't want you to be here any longer. Case management started on it first thing this morning because everybody knows the situation. So she came to me this morning, let me know that she's trying to get the insurance through, find you a chair, or find you a seat to get dialysis. And I'm not trying to coerce you, I just need to let you know, and this is the same thing I tell to anybody that wants to leave against medical advice. That's what happens. That's just kind of like the case is closed.
Gotcha.
And so,
one other thing. I would like to be able to talk with him daily.
That should not be a problem.
And at least by phone or video chat or something. I want to be able to talk with him daily.
Okay, does he have his own cell phone or
Yes.
He has his own cell phone, but he doesn't have service on it at this time.
When you and I call New Day for you to provide that information just to let him go there, let's talk to them about what electronics he's allowed to take. Because I don't want anything taken, stolen, anything like that. You can ask those phone call privileges.
Okay.
Because he's not a juvenile, there's not a concern in regards to him. I'm sure that phone calls will not be a problem. But I just don't want his cell phone, his private property to be,
damage is taken.
Exactly.
Alright. So you might have to go in there without your game.
Well, I'm not doing that.
Well, look.
I'm not doing this in general. I don't care what is being done. I'm not doing it in general. I'm not doing it. No, I'm not. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Calm down.
I don't want any of these people. No.
okay. As soon as I know it's,
No.
hopefully we can try to just get him to do it downstairs in the ER. Is what we're trying.
No. I'm telling you no. Because I don't trust these people. If I'm telling you no for a reason, it's because I'm telling you no for a reason.
Do you guys want to talk a little bit? want to talk, and we'll give you some time.
Yeah.
Personally, just personally, I feel like we should just leave entirely and go find treatment somewhere else. Because I don't feel comfortable with this.
Marcel, why don't you and your dad go in the room that way you have some privacy to talk about your options, okay?
I'm in agreement with you. I'm in agreement with you. Because they have not been forthcoming from the get-go. Because that was a lie right from the start. That was a lie. Because they could have said something when we first checked in this hospital, and they didn't say anything. They had numerous opportunities to say something. To say, hey, this is, you might might need dialysis. Your son's gonna need somewhere to stay while you're here, because we don't. They could have said that when I was down there in the ER.
Like I said, I don't know exactly what happened when you first got here. I don't know if you made the decision to keep you here or
Well,
sell
I
or
guess
anything like that.
like I said, it's just been one thing after the next, and nothing has been. Nothing's been honest. They haven't been honest about anything. I mean, because she sat there and made it sound like, oh, your son's gonna be fine. They even told me that he was gonna be here, then like he could get something to eat and all this other stuff. I didn't ask them to provide his food. I was gonna pay for food for him and drinks from the cafeteria, all of that. But it's just like I said, it's just been one thing after the next.
I'm sorry your experience here hasn't been good.
And this chick here, no, no.
Like the treatment in this whole state hasn't been good since the get-go that we've been.
I know.
First, we've been targeted.
I'm sorry you're having so much issues getting your medical treatment.
Well, I mean, you're a police officer. You're not a doctor.
And I have no idea what's going to happen if you walk out of here. That's all on the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. My only concern here is making sure that Marcel has a safe place to stay tonight.
Well, he has a safe place to stay. He's with me. I'm his father. He has a safe place to stay. He's with me. And the hospital has no right to take my son from me. He's not in any danger. They've clearly already stated that they can see that he's perfectly fine. So and I'm not doing this. My son doesn't feel comfortable. They've given me no real reason to feel comfortable with him in their care.
So what's your decision then, Mr. Thomas? Do you know what your decision's going to be, or do you need a minute?
Is she getting that in writing?
She's putting it in writing. Is that still acceptable to you if we get that in writing?
I want his COVID test done here with me.
So we're asking to see if that's something they can do.
I'm working on it. I got my charge nurse calling the house supervisor, trying to see if we can get it done in the ER. Because usually we don't do outpatient COVID testing. We only do it on people that get admitted, so it's a little easier. So we're trying. Yeah, definitely trying to get it done here so he doesn't have to
COVID testing is fine. All of that. Because technically, the maximum age of people that would be 20. Technically, that is someone getting custody. That's just not the hospital, aka the government, getting custody. That's just as bad as the government getting custody.
Well, she's claiming that that's not what they're doing, and she's supposed to be providing this in writing.
So we're not taking custody of you. There's a lot of paperwork involved in that. We're not trying to take custody of you right now, Marcel. We're just trying to find you a place to stay tonight so that when your dad gets out of the hospital, he can come pick you up.
And as I said before, I'm not agreeing to this. I'm not agreeing to this. I don't understand why it's like I'm being pushed, I'm being pressured, I'm being targeted to do this.
Calm down, okay?
Like I really can.
So Marcel, we're not trying to target you. I'm sorry if we've made you feel that way. I really am. That's not my intention, okay? My concern is that I want your dad to get medical treatment and I need you to have a safe place to stay while he's getting that medical treatment. That's the only thing I'm trying to do here. And I'm so sorry if I've made you feel otherwise.
But at the end of the day, I could be here. You could be here for like days, on weeks.
Well, they don't anticipate it to be that long.
The social worker, not social worker, I'm sorry, case management has already started this morning. And she's trying to work as fast as she can.
What's your concern, Marcel? What are you worried about?
Because I just don't want to be here in whatever that is supposed to be. Because
And then he don't want to be in the shelter.
Because I don't feel comfortable being
Around
there.
other kids that he don't know.
So one option that we talked about with your dad is letting him have daily visits with you. Would that make you feel a little better?
No, it wouldn't. It really wouldn't. Because.
So how would I have daily visits with him?
Which is on the phone, like you were talking about.
That's still the same. That's still like pretty much the same thing. And I don't want to do that. I'm not gonna sit here and
You take care of that.
I don't know about this.
doing that.
Okay, do this.
What's this for?
This is gonna be for 55.
Office?
So what's your ideal solution, Marcel?
2.5.
Okay.
And,
I mean, why can't I just be like one of you guys have said it before earlier that I could just be around one of my dad's coworkers or something like that. I don't.
So the problem is I wasn't able to find anyone that could stay with you.
Well, my coworker Albert he offered to let my son stay there with him before. I just don't have his phone number
And I
with me
couldn't find one either.
because it's in the notepad with his phone number is in my apartment. It's right there in the closet.
I'm not allowed to go into your apartment. I had to use the resources available to me off the databases we have as police to try and find him, and I couldn't find anyone to get a hold of him. So we're trying to find a compromise, Marcel, to where your dad can still get his medical treatment, but he still has custody of you and we don't get involved.
Well, I don't want to be doing.
I mean, I'm just standing around here. I don't understand why I can't hop in the squad car, go get Albert's number,
And that be it.
and that be it.
I can't drive you.
Typical.
And it just feels like.
But
I'm
you could
trapped.
drive me if I were going to jail, though, right?
Exactly the point. I'm trapped. I really just don't want to be in this state anymore.
Neither do I. So,
Where are we at, guys?
where are you?
I have a safety plan written up. I will, if you want to talk in your room with Marcel, we can do that. Have you signed up on it? We can call. And then I know that the nurse has been trying to get our COVID test to be done here to.
I think I'm pretty sure that's about to happen. So I'm gonna get it done. I just need to get some information from him, like first name, last name, date of birth. I'm gonna call down to the ER nurse and have them come up and do it.
Okay.
Do what?
Huh?
The COVID swab.
The COVID test.
Well,
As
as long as
those
it's
results right away.
Yeah, they want to do a rapid, so it should
Okay,
be pretty
perfect,
quick.
because I have to come with the note stating,
That you have it, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
as long as I know I'm not being taken. They were talking about. That's fine. I'm just not going to.
Well, that's what they're talking about. You going
Is it
to-
okay if we go over the paperwork with you so you can see what we have written down?
Let's. How about we do this? We'll step back in here, so we're not out here in the hallway.
okay, so Mr. Thomas, basically this is what we do, is it's called a safety plan, okay? So on my safety plan, it just says you and your kiddo. It says Rodney Thomas, father, needs medical attention dialysis. The child can no longer stay in the hospital room, no family in this area. Parent will voluntarily place the child at New Day Shelter until he is released from the hospital. It says. And then why are we doing this? Because if dad's health fails, the child will be placed in CYFD custody. Family is out of state.
I'm not agreeing to that.
Well, I can cross it off. I have no problems doing that. And then showing it.
I'm not agreeing to that.
Okay.
I'm not agreeing to put him in no CYFD
No,
custody or none of
That's
that.
that's only if
Sir, if that's if your health fails. If there's a situation and we can't get your mom down here to help out. This is what the attorney is doing to not have this happen. But I have to put a reason why we're putting your son at the shelter. Because we're worried about your health. Rodney Thomas will place Marcel. How's your first name pronounced? Because I know you go by Marcel Thomas at New Day Shelter voluntarily. New Day Shelter will provide a safe place for your son, and then Rodney Thomas will pick up Marcel Thomas from New Day Shelter upon his discharge from the hospital. Date to be determined. So it could be tomorrow, it could be 2 days from now, it could be 7 days from now. Whatever it is you need.
Without involvement of law enforcement or CYFD.
Can I step over here? Without involvement of police, law enforcement, or CYFD. I just need you to sign here. I don't know if you want it on the countertop or you want it. And then we have to call the shelter so you can give your verbal approval. And then I will ask the nurse if we can get a copy here for you.
see.
And then also, do you want a copy of it as well?
This is too bright.
It's been 5 weeks since Johnny said bada bye, bada boo. His bump took a little longer to heal, but he is happy, he's healthy, and I hope his bump never returns.
Just recently, the girl went to her first day of school and she took him and girls went to get
I'm gonna leave this for you. It's got my name, badge number, and the case number that I'm gonna be writing, okay?
Okay. And you said you needed me to call someone?
We have to call the shelter, because you have to verbally place him at the shelter.
I have to give consent.
Correct.
And so where am I supposed to be signing?
Right, just under your name, sir.
Dad,
Huh?
I don't agree to this because it's like
So, Marcel,
technically, if there's kids,
No, don't interrupt my son. Wait a second.
if there's kids over 20, I mean, if there's kids over 18 or 18, technically they can take custody of them.
What do you mean? What did you Google?
I was Googling like minimum age of custody, and technically, if you're 18 or above, you're able to take custody of a child.
Legs look better. Okay, so this is the surface of your skin. You see this stuff right on top here? That's hyperkeratosis. That's that scale that you have. So normal skin wouldn't
That's
have
what I was
it.
Googling
There, you
earlier.
know. Dermatopathologists read this as ichthyosis condition.
So, no.
Ichthyosis means skin that has this sort of fish or plate-like scale on it.
Alright.
Dry skin.
Okay.
so I hear your concerns, Marcel. I really do. Ultimately, this is your dad's decision, okay?
Technically,
Hey,
not really, because you guys are trying to have me put into this whole thing, and if I don't feel comfortable with it, I don't feel comfortable with it. You guys are the one putting me in this. So, actually, no, it's not ultimately his decision. It's ultimately my decision because you are doing this to me.
I am. We are trying to figure out how to help you, okay? And I'm here, we've got CYFD here, we've got medical personnel here that explained to your dad his options. We gave the two of you some time to talk. Do you feel like you need more time to talk?
Yeah, I do.
You want to talk with your dad some more?
Yeah.
And I want that to also state that he is not going in custody of the state.
Or anybody else.
Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to just leave?
Yeah, why not just find another state, another hospital, another place that actually gives great treatment that's not just sitting here about money and
Well,
about all
you
this
know-
other stuff, because this is kind of annoying. This is getting on my
I did
nerves.
place CYFD is not taking custody of Carlos himself Thomas. And so we are only trying to let you get the health care you need, as well as provide a safe spot for your son. That's all we're trying to do here. Young man, I'm an adult and I'm having a conversation with your dad here.
This is pissing me off really badly.
Okay, calm down, okay? Calm down. Alright. And you're Debbie Johnson?
I am, sir. And Ashley Sanchez is my supervisor who gave approval of this.
I'm in agreement with my son. I'm in agreement with my son. I'm leaving the hospital with my son.
We'll let them know so they can start processing your paperwork.
May I give you my card so if you guys need anything? Would you like a card or no?
I'll take the card. I'll take the card.
Okay. I'm gonna leave you with my information here, okay? I still have to write a police report, even though you're leaving, just to document that I came out here. And that's the police number right there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Mr. Thomas is leaving the hospital at this time.
Okay. A couple days before you leave, which is you're right. One, I gotta pull the ID out of your hand.
Okay.
Two, I have to let the doctor know that you're leaving. And I got a form for you to sign, okay? That's saying that you're leaving against medical advice.
Okay.
Which is totally right. So give me a few minutes and let everybody know what's going on, okay?
Okay.
Do you want us to stick around or are you for sure on your decision?
Because I also need to see what they're doing, what they want to do with sending you home with the bath cath and your chest. That I cannot take out. That's how you get dialysis.
All right.
Do you want another couple of minutes to talk? We can step out and give you some time.
Yeah.
You want me to see if I can track down the provider to come talk to you before? And I have to let them know either way that you're leaving. Yeah, it's open. I'll let you guys talk. I'll let you guys think about what you want to do, and you just let me know, okay?
All right.
The only thing is, I gotta pull the IV, and I want to see how they want to handle this, because this is usually with this, you're gonna go to dialysis, so they clean it, they change it, they do all that on a regular basis. So I gotta figure out the best way to handle that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still go. I don't know. Honestly, I don't have a good answer for you.
I mean, it's the same thing they would do when I leave, right?
Yeah, but you don't have anywhere set up to go when you leave. That's the problem. It's not that you're leaving. Any other day of the week, I would tell you to leave. I would not beg anybody to stay in this hospital because I think you're in your right mind. You know what you're doing. I just have to tell you what happens when you leave. And it's not anything personal. It's not to coerce you. It's not to attack you. But it's just what it is.
And which is what?
You have nowhere to go for dialysis when you leave here. You don't have anywhere set up. So, what's going to happen in 3 days when you're back in the same situation? And I can't even imagine the decision you have to make. And I got 2 kids at home, and I can't even think about that. And I'm not.
So then, why are they pulling dialysis? If I'm here and I'm being treated,
You're doing dialysis here, but you don't have anywhere set up to do it once you leave here. That's why we don't let you leave until that's set up. So let's say tomorrow you get it set up, and that's a possibility. I don't know. But then they would discharge you because you have somewhere to go to continue getting your dialysis. But right now you don't have anywhere to go. There's no outpatient clinic set up for you to go. So in 3 days, when you're back in the same situation, then you're starting dialysis all over again. somewhere. It would have to be in an ER or a hospital again, so you're going to be in a hospital again.
Yeah, but I would have never even started dialysis. I mean, I've been here a year and no dialysis. Nobody wanted to see me.
Okay, I can't speak on that. I know with COVID, a lot of things have been a pain.
That wasn't COVID. That was just flat out discrimination. When people, I mean, come on now, a year? That's not COVID.
Okay, I can't speak on that. I can't speak on anything that what's right here in front of me about trying to get into doing anything. I don't know any of that, so I can't speak on that.
Because like I said, I come in here and you guys make it seem like I had to have dialysis.
You do. Your kidney function was high. Your kidney function was in the 15s, which is usually like in the 1s.
But why didn't somebody say, Mr. Thomas, could you do something with, what's going on with your son? It's like I'm just casually asked about my son if there was somewhere for him to go, and I told him no, it's just me and him.
Right.
And why didn't they just inform me of all this before
we're here?
Before telling me you need to get dialysis, and then popping this on both of us? Don't they understand this is traumatizing to him?
Right.
I mean, why do this to him?
I understand that, and I can't speak on it.
Can I also ask a question? I'm
Go
sorry
ahead.
for interjecting.
No, go speak.
But I don't understand why all of a sudden this is a problem when we've been to where I've had the whole family, my dad, me, and my mom, all at the same time in a hospital, just like this one, multiple hospitals in multiple places.
But here is an issue.
But your mom was with you. That's the issue. When there was somebody else to take care of you besides your dad. That's the issue that they're coming, is that there's nobody else to help take care of you right now.
So if there was another adult here, he could stay?
He could go home with the adult. He can't stay here in general because we don't have any overnight. Especially when he was a minor. We don't even let minors in to begin with. But they made an exception to let you in. But I don't have anybody here under the age of 18 here.
So
that's part of it is your
why didn't they say this when I was brought in?
Okay, I can't speak on anything other than right in front of me because I was not here when you were admitted. I can't speak on what I don't know.
Like I said, that's entrapment.
It's not entrapment, and it's not quite. Sir, you can walk out this door anytime you want. I'm not keeping you here. I'm not begging you to stay here. I'm giving you the options of what it is. And this is the same thing I tell anybody that's going to leave without medical advice. It is not personal. It is nothing other than that's just what the facts are. And that has been at any facility that I've ever worked at in any state, that usually when you leave medical, go get medical advice, treatment stops then. Anything they do stops then. And that's not here. That is anywhere I've worked.
Yeah, I understand the treatment.
That's the issue, is when you're leaving against medical advice, and so what they start working on just stops, because that's just, you left against medical advice, you're not clinically stable to leave, so they kind of just close the book on it. And that's not, like I said, that's not here.
They closed the book on it with my situation,
But the situation,
with my health the way it is. So basically what you're saying is, they just close the situation, they just end the case file, because I want to leave the hospital.
Against medical advice. And I understand every situation is different. But that's just standard
I'm so sick of this democratic Nazi shit. I am so sick of this. I'm sick of this. This makes no sense. Because, like I said, you guys should have said something about, hey, you got your son with you. Everybody knew that my son was with me. Okay. The ambulance workers knew. 911 knew. Dispatch knew that I had my son with me. No one said a freaking word. And then you get me here, and then you put me on a machine, on dialysis, a process that once I start, I'm on that for life until the day that I die.
That's not necessarily true either, but
What's not necessarily true about
You
it?
might not be on dialysis for the rest of your life.
Unless I get a transplant.
So, Mr. Thomas, I think you have all the information that we are able to provide you right now. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to make a final decision, and just let us know when you've made that decision, okay?
Excuse me?
We've given you all the information we have available right now. I'm going to give the two of you some time to talk and make a final decision on what you want to do, and then you let us know when you've made that decision. Okay?
So why did you take the paper back?
Because you said that you wanted to leave.
Yeah. So you
If that is your decision, that you want to stay here and we can take him to the shelter, we'll let you sign the paperwork and get you a copy of it. Or you have pictures of it, I think.
Well, I do
But-
still want a copy of it if I sign it.
Absolutely. We just want to help you, sir.
So, why don't you two talk, make a final decision, let us know what you decide, okay?
Your supervisor? Is that her name that was on
Ashley
there?
Ray? Yes.
Is there any way that I can speak to your supervisor?
Sure, but I'm wondering why you need to speak to my supervisor in regards to a safety plan that we've established together.
I would feel more comfortable if I could speak to your supervisor.
Hi, Mr. Thomas would like to speak to you. Is that okay? Okay, yes, thank you.